sure not to miss that opportunity. Not bad, right? So the other day I was on a morning run and I decided to change up my usual route and came around here, around the Hiroshima castle. And at the time, like, the light was so perfect, but I didn't have anything to record or to capture that properly. So I decided that I will come back with a proper setup and try to take good pictures and videos. And so that's why I'm here today. Today it looks like the perfect conditions, so let's see what we can get. So today I did something that doesn't really look like me, which involved taking a tripod and make a bit more planning, because I'm usually someone who goes out to take pictures and move with the flow. I will quickly run you through my settings to take this picture. So I'm on aperture priority f4 to try to get the most things in focus. I just kept my auto ISO because it's still at 100 ISO, so it will be super clean. And yeah, I will stay there and take a few shots for the next 20-30 minutes, try to maximize what we can get in these beautiful conditions. I was a bit over enthusiastic before. I said that it was almost the perfect conditions, but you see there are some clouds here that's blocking the light. What I saw the other day when it was really beautiful, there was no clouds and the light was hitting directly on the castle, and it was just beautiful. But today looks like it won't happen. So already my second time trying, but probably not the last apparently. So despite the result not being exactly what I hoped for, let's not stop it there and keep on taking pictures for a while, and I'll bring you along. So I like this angle because there is some foliage here that blocks a bit the frame to add some depth. Okay, looks like there's a little bit more light now. Ooh! Yeah, would have been better if this amount of light came through earlier today, but I won't complain, right? Okay, so I have another maybe 20 minutes before I have to head back home and get ready for school. I noticed this place yesterday and it looks like there is some potential for some minimal composition. Hop, 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 hop. Let's go. We are lacking the presence of a human subject, but if there was one just like around here, it could be a cool shot because the light is hitting the tree and makes the leaf pop. It's really lacking of a human subject. Luckily the light is quite nice, so let's make the light the subject of this picture maybe. This is interesting. Like with this composition, I want to make the castle actually a supporter and not really the main subject of the frame, because I see the light coming to the trees and the foliage, and it looks super nice. And yeah, so it looks kind of fun to have this beautiful castle, but make this simple tree the main subject of the photo. So let's try this. Okay, so today I won't leave you just watching the pictures, but I will also explain a little bit about my thought process when editing them. Let's not wait any longer and jump straight into Lightroom. So let's take this white shot as an example, and you can see that I started as always with applying one of my presets, which for this one was Shikoku, and you see that there is a slight difference, especially on the trees. With I tweaked a little bit the yellows and the green. So I usually start with the presets and then of course adjust a little bit the tones, the contrast if needed, but most of the time the preset do all the heavy lifting on that side, and it's only minor tweak that I have to do. For this picture being more like a landscape shot, I actually applied the lens correction, especially the distortion. I kept a little bit of the vignetting, and for the colors, as you see with my yellows, I pushed them a little bit towards green and removed quite a lot of the saturation and a little bit of the luminance. Doing so with the hue, the yellow blends better with the green, because I don't want it to have too much different colors in this picture. You see I also toned down the blue in the sky, so we are only left with a nice green, a little bit tint of yellow at the tip of these three leaves, and also the yellow coming from the sun on the castle. But now the colors and the contrast cover. The cherry on top, what I like to do with my pictures, the one I really like and I want to spend a little bit time on the editing part, is the masking. So you see if I turn off all the masks, there is a quite substantial difference. So let's check them one by one to see what they do individually. So the first one is a mask covering the castle and a little bit of these first trees. And I made this mask to lift up a little bit the light on the castle, but also you can see that I added a little bit of warmth. I wanted to emphasize on what I envisioned, like the sun coming from here, lighting the castle and giving this nice golden tint. The second mask I did was to accentuate the light coming from here, and it's a quite big mask with the maximum feather, and you'll see that it just really accentuate the light coming from the left. If you do so, please be careful, because it has to accentuate the existing source of light. Because if I take this mask and put it there, it doesn't have any sense, because the sun was obviously coming from here. So if you have added source of light from here, it's it's just nonsense, I think. And then the third mask, which is probably the most important, I really wanted to show this contrast between the two sides of the castle. This one being lit by the sun and having this really nice golden tint, and this other side being on the shadow. And to do so, I added a linear mask, but I also removed the sky to end up with only the water and the right side of the castle to be affected by this mask. Because if the sky is also affected, I think it's too obvious. And in this mask, I simply decrease a little bit the exposure, nothing too crazy, but I think the effect is really on point. Finally, the last mask was just to get back some details in the sky by reducing the highlights and moving up a little bit the whites, just to keep a little bit of contrast. And if we do the before after, you see that this is before, after, so we have a little bit more detail, but still some contrast with the whites being pushed a little bit up. So let's check the before and after. Pretty happy with this one. And that's it, we are done. And yeah, let me know in the comments if you like this kind of editing breakdown. I like to do them, and if it can help you and give you some inspiration for your next edit, I'm really happy about it. And that concludes today's video, so let's catch up in the next one. Bye!